All right, we are making scallops. I got these scallops from Costco. Divvied them up into six to each Ziploc bag, and I just put them in the freezer. Took them out last night. They thawed, and as you can see, they got all this gross white juice in there. So the first thing and most important thing I'm going to do is take them out of this white juice and put them onto a paper towel. So the next thing I'm going to do, this is probably unnecessary, but I like to kind of make sure I get all of that juice off of there. I think that's what gives it a fishy or kind of like the oceany taste to them sometimes you get. So I'm going to get another thing of paper towels here. I'm going to rinse them off with cold water, and then I'm going to put them back on a clean paper towel. Alright, as I do these next few steps, you're probably going to be thinking that I am overkilling this, but the idea is to get these as dry as possible. So I am going to literally keep putting them onto dry paper towels until the paper towel no longer is wet like this one is. I really think it's an important step to get that fishy or oceany taste out of the scallops. I've had them before where they kind of taste or smell fishy, and I've even had them where they have a little bit of, like, you have crunch from like sand in them and stuff like that, and I just really don't like that. So I try to get them as dry as possible, and I think that's key to keeping that taste out of the scallop. Alright, it looks like we're getting pretty dry now. I'm going to take and just kind of, I'm not squeezing these at all. I'm just lightly, just kind of trying to roll them around in a paper towel. I am not squeezing them. I'm very gentle. Okay, you can see the paper towel kind of sticks to them. That's how that's what we want. That's when we know we're starting to get real good and dry. All right. Going to put these on a final paper towel here, and then we're going to season them. All right, I really like the coarse kosher salt. This is what I always get when I'm seasoning just about anything for cooking. Just a real big fan of it. I don't have a real reason. It's just what I like. So I'm going to go pretty liberally with the salt on each one of these scallops. And you might be thinking like, I don't think I want them that salty. But a lot of this will cook off both in the sous vide and when we finish them on the cast iron pan. Next is just black pepper. Don't go nuts with the black pepper. I do light with the pepper. That might have been a little heavier than I probably should have gone. Got a little carried away there. All right, that's just about it. So now I'm going to take these scallops and I'm going to put them into a Ziploc bag. You'll notice most of my other recipes, I use a vacuum sealer. And I did that once with the scallops and found out very quickly that that was a bad idea because my scallops really lost their shape. They tasted just fine, but they were all smashed and flat when I was done cooking. So that's why we just use a Ziploc bag for this one. So last thing, once they're in the Ziploc bag, get some minced garlic. In the past I've used garlic powder and it was good. But I think this is the first time I'm going to try the minced garlic instead. We really like garlic around here, so I'm going to do a loose tablespoon. I'll see how that goes. I'm just going to dump it in there. And then I have got 1 tablespoon of butter. And the same thing. Just going to drop it on in there. And that is how I prep my scallops. Alright, my sous vide is up to temperature. We are going to cook this at 123 degrees for about 30 minutes is what most people say. I usually go for 30 to 45 minutes, probably closer to 45 minutes. It's a sous vide, you're not going to overcook them. One thing I did when the camera was off is I did kind of roll the scallops around in the bag a little bit to get the garlic on each scallop. Again, I didn't squeeze them or smash them. I gently rolled them around so the garlic would get on a little bit of everything, and I positioned that tablespoon of butter kind of in the middle there. If you've got a sous vide, I'm sure you're familiar with this method I'm going to use, where I open up just the corner of the bag and I submerge it and let all the air come out, and then at the very end I'm going to seal it. And then I'm just going to clip it right on the edge there so it doesn't swim away on me. And that's it. We'll be back in about 45 minutes. Alright, I'm back. It's been about 45, maybe closer to 50 minutes. And we are going to take these things out. Alright. They look good. See all that butter in there? And the garlic? Alright. Well, let's take them over to the stove and we will finish them on the cast iron. Alright, this is the cast iron pan that I'll be using to finish the scallops. I just wanted to take a moment to tell you guys a little bit about it. This is a 10-inch Lodge cast iron pan that I've had for a few years, and I actually took a metal sanding pad thing for a drill, and I spent probably 10 to 12 hours just smoothing out the bottom of it. That's why it looks nice and smooth. It's a really good pan, but it's just a plain old Lodge cast iron pan that I just took some time and really smoothed out the bottom. Now we're going to want to get this up to about 400 degrees, and I'm going to use peanut oil, just a little bit of it, and that's going to be right before it starts to smoke. So I'm going to go ahead and get it heated up, and I'll be back when we are up to temperature. Alright, our pan is up to temperature. As you can see, I'm right about 400 degrees, and you can start to see a little bit of smoke coming off of this pan. Now I'm going to take one more time, lift it off the burner, move that oil around and make sure the whole pan's covered. As you can see, there's not a lot of oil in there, just enough to kind of cover the bottom of the pan. And we're ready to go. So I'm just going to take these scallops out of the bag and gently place them around in the skillet. And it's starting to smoke. I think I'm going to have to turn on my fan. I was hoping I wouldn't have to. So hopefully it's not too loud. And throughout, I'm just going to kind of move some oil around in there. I don't want to keep it on there too long, so I'm going to kind of constantly turn them. You can see they're looking good. I almost want a crispy kind of sear on them. We don't need to cook them because they're already cooked. They cooked in the sous vide, so all we're doing here is just trying to make them look pretty. So cook them to your likeness, whatever you like. And I just kind of constantly flip them because I don't really want to burn them. Just trying to make them look pretty. You see me kind of go over to the side of the pan because that's where the oil's at. And this is real time. I'm not fast forwarding it or anything, so you can kind of see about how long I'm really in the pan. I think it's only going to be about, I'd say 2 minutes total. And I'm guessing on that, I don't know. I don't really set a timer. I kind of just do this until I feel like it looks the way I want it to look. And these are just about there. And I am going to start taking them out. And I'm just going to place them on the paper towel out here. Kind of like you do bacon. Because I want to give it a chance to soak up some of that oil. There's not a lot of oil, but I like to soak up a little. So there we go. Those are looking pretty good to me. Ah, geez. Come on. There we go. Turn that stove off. And I'm going to take this paper towel here and just kind of pat over them. Like I said, just kind of like you would with bacon. Just to, you know, just soak up a little bit of that oil. You don't have to if you don't want to. But makes them a little bit better if you ask me. And that's it. Alright, the scallops are done, and man, do they look good. Just thought I'd cut one open for you so you can see how they look. Man, that is good. Just perfectly cooked. Nice crispiness on the outside. Very good. Something else you can try if you want to make this even better is I've melted just a little bit of butter, about a tablespoon of it. Put it in the microwave, let it melt a little bit, and then I add just a little bit of salt, just regular table salt. And I am going to get about half a teaspoon measuring cup. I'm not going to fill it all the way up. A little bit again of minced garlic. We like our garlic here. And then just mix all that together with a little butter knife. And then you can enjoy that with your scallops. That is good and rich, and probably an additional 500 calories. Give it a shot though. I highly recommend it. I hope your scallops turn out as good as mine did. Thanks for watching.